Hi everyone, welcome to another live webinar with myself Ashraf Ahmed, and today we have Evelyn from River Cleaner team, and he has a lot of concepts to cover, and he's going to talk about keyword indexing and how can you use backend search term and other stuff. So let's get started. So over to Evelyn, and can you start, Evelyn? How do you pronounce your name? Is it Evelyn or?
Evelyn.
Evelyn. Okay.
All right. Hello everyone. Evelyn from River Cleaner here. Today I was speaking about keyword indexing and what's new with Amazon and what is all about with all the changes. And there are many different opinions on the subject, so we'll try to clarify and give you the latest news. So first of all, how do we actually know what is exactly going on with the indexing? Is because River Cleaner has been on the market for a year and a half now, and what we do is we check Amazon all the time, like every day, a few times a day. We check for changes, both in the terms of service, style guides, in the front end, in the back end. We check the changes in the interface. We want to know everything about Amazon and what exactly is going on. So our clients, they'll be the first to know if something is changed. So this is what is River Cleaner doing. We optimize thousands of listings every single day, and we have that intelligence, and that allows us to actually give you recommendations instead of just speaking by heart from what we heard. And hopefully by the end of this presentation we'll have a pretty good understanding on indexing and how to use it to optimize your listing, so you can have all the advantages of your competitors. So first of all, let's start with what is indexing. If you have no idea how Amazon is a search engine, one of the biggest search engines in the world, and this is from Wikipedia. Search engine indexing collects, parses, and stores data to facilitate fast and accurate information retrieval. In other words, on Amazon, every keyword will be associated with the ASIN, so that the search engine can give you accurate and fast results when you type a keyword. They already have that information prepared for you. And if you can see here, I gave an example for a notebook, and if you see how many results you have close to 500,000 results, which means that many listings are associated with that keyword. So there's a lot of rumors about Amazon that's switching to machine learning, and it's pretty clear. If you do a quick search on Google, you can see that Jeff Bezos talks about machine learning. It's been part of Amazon's web services for a long time, for 2 years now. So it's clear that they use machine learning, and it's one of their biggest developments and advantages. And why not use it for themselves? So this is what he said in the Internet Association annual gala in Washington. He actually said that they use machine learning for improved search results. Last year, Amazon started keywords. In the PPC, in the advertising, they started using phrase match and exact match, and it's a clear indication that Amazon is actually tracking phrases. And of course, they need to test for many months what will be the result from that change if they switch from a single keyword to a keyword phrase in the indexing. So lately, many people will see. Many people complain that they have like a drop in sales, and it's normal when Amazon is trying to make a change in the algorithm or in the system. They try different things, and they measure all the time, and then they switch, little by little, one category at a time. So many people experience drop in the sales, many keywords being de-indexed, complete listing being de-indexed, but soon after that, they started automatically being indexed. So it created a lot of hype. A lot of people started talking about that. You need to change this and that. And the actual reason why, if you change something, actually helped is because every change you do, it will force Amazon to re-index. So it can make things happen faster than if you leave it on their own. So it's clear we have keyword phrases, and it's clear that we have machine learning. So what we can do about how we can use actually that to our advantage, this knowledge. Because if you ask Amazon reps, they don't really know. Not everyone is up to date with the news on Amazon. You can get so many different opinions from them. It's very confusing. So here is what we learned, and I just want to mention that this will change again probably in the future. So I'll try not to be very specific for the future. I can tell you what is working right now, what we can measure actually by indexing a lot of listings, and I can give you recommendations how you can actually use that even in future. I'm pretty sure this will work all the time. So if you look for a bullet point description, you'll see that the actual length of the character that is visible is about 65 characters, but in reality you can actually input 500 characters in each field. And if you see the red box that I showed here, it's actually showing you that keywords, the key product features are intentionally made to be short, while the product description is a text box where you should input long text here, like paragraphs of text instead of just a single line. So let's explain how to check manually indexing, because I don't want to only pitch my software here. I just want to give you all the knowledge so you can go and do that yourself manually. And if you need automated system so you can track like many different listings, then of course software is the best option. So let's talk about how actually you can check indexing. So the first thing you can do is just type a keyword on Amazon, and if you see a result, that means this keyword that you typed is actually indexed for some of for one or more of the listings that will appear. If you have no results, that means that this keyword is not indexed for any for no listing. Because if you type a keyword, you'll get so many results. To narrow that to only your listing, we do you can search the ASIN plus the keyword that you're trying to check indexing, and then you'll see only if it's only indexed for your ASIN particularly. And of course, you can type ASIN and several keywords or otherwise called phrases, and then you'll see if you have results for these keywords. So this is what it looks like if it's not indexed. You'll get 0 results, and the result will be in black, in bolded black, which means this particular ASIN with the keyword charm in this example is not indexed. This ASIN is not associated with that. Amazon is not considering this keyword to be relevant. This is how it works. Amazon works by relevancy. If you're familiar with PPC, you know that the more relevant is your keyword, the lower prices you'll pay per click. And this is what it looks like if it's indexed. The result will appear in orange. And in this example, you can clearly see that we have a keyword from the previous example, charm, that is not indexed, but with the phrase rustic charm, it is indexed. This means that Amazon tells you that most people who look for that single, either they don't search for this, or they just don't consider that part of your listing. While the phrase rustic charm will be part of that listing, and they will show results for this one. So let's talk quickly about what is actually indexed, which part of your listing it's indexed. Now, the product name, the brand name, all the bullet points in the description, the manufacturer's name and the seller's name, they're all indexed. So every keyword that you'll put in there will be searched by Amazon and cataloged. Variation names and search term fields, and also some additional information fields, but not all. So a lot of many people talk about how you can actually separate keywords in the backend, particularly because they feel that this is where the secret sauce on Amazon, the invisible part, the only invisible part that no one can see. So they're trying to put a lot of keywords, a lot of information in there, trying to get more traffic. And the question is, how do you separate keywords in the backend? And we've done a lot of testing in this one, and I'll show you how we actually get to the conclusion. So if you go to the front end, and so just clarify what is front end and what is back end. So front end is what you actually see in the Amazon catalog. If you go to Amazon.com and you search your listing and you see the results, this is called the front end. And the back end is what you see from Seller Central. Particularly, we call that the keyword fields, the search term fields that are not visible in the front. So if you go to Amazon.com and you type an ASIN and then you separate them in this example, you can see with commas, you see that you'll get a result if you separate it like this. If you separate them by, for example, a colon or any other symbol like plus, or you can still get the same results. I even exaggerated in this case. I did multiple separators between the keywords, and they're all okay. It doesn't matter. So here is the reality. In this is what I did: turn and separate with a bunch of spaces, and then the pipe symbol. It's probably the only symbol that is used for search because it's an OR operator. So in this case, Amazon will search for a charm, keyword, search term, or the heuristic. So it will give you results for one or the other, and not both together. But again, you can see that the spaces that I put in between the operators and the keywords make no difference at all. So here's the reality. This is what is happening when Amazon search. When they index keywords, when they do that. They ignore all the extra white spaces, all the extra separators, and they replace the symbols. They will be replaced by a space. So no matter how you separate, if you separate them with a comma, or with space, or with a slash, or point, they will all be replaced by a single space. So it doesn't matter how you. Many people tell me, should I separate with comma and then space and then the keyword? Or I should just go keyword space keyword, and the answer is doesn't really matter because of that fact is that that the symbols will be replaced by a space, and the multiple spaces will be replaced by a single space. Those are the two rules, and it doesn't make any difference how you separate the keywords. Amazon is actually recent, they last year they updated. For a long time it was shown as an example that you need to use as comma for a separator. Now they clearly state that you only need to use space to separate. So how do you actually use phrases then if you have to separate keyword by keyword? And this is where is machine learning coming. Machine learning is close to artificial intelligence, and it's a way of complex algorithms to learn from your behavior as a buyer, and how you search for keywords, and how you choose after that from these keywords the product that you're looking. So the answer to that question is you have to type your keywords and phrases in the most natural way, the way that you actually look for products on Amazon. In other words, you have to separate them. You have to put all the relevant keywords of a phrase close together to each other, and separate them with spaces. So in the back end, you don't need to use any. You don't need to repeat keywords. You just need to use the keyword once. But even if you repeat it, you will not be penalized for that by Amazon. It will just take more space from the back. And the search term, they changed a lot during the years. At the beginning they were only 50 characters per line. Then they increased it to 1,000 characters per line. Now you can still use 1,000 characters per line, but only small character count will be actually indexed, and we'll talk about that at the end, how you can actually be sure that all of your search terms that you enter in the backend will be indexed. So let's talk about what is not indexed, what doesn't make sense to check for indexing because it will not be checked by Amazon. So enhanced brand content will not be indexed, and my thoughts are that they will never be indexed. But here is a trick for you. If you have that, if you have your description in place, and the old description will all be indexed, while it's not visible, it will still be indexed. So what you can actually do is get all of your search terms from the backend and place them in front in the description, and this will have more weight for the search engine, because if you know, Amazon is actually not requiring you to have any search terms in these fields. So enhanced brand content will not be indexed, but it's very important because it will be indexed by Google. So you have to use your main keywords and their synonyms and long tail phrases and everything you do to optimize for Google. You can use that long text that is allowed in the enhanced brand content. So to question, should I repeat keyword phrases or keywords that already appear in the title and the bullet points in the description? Should I repeat them in the enhanced brand content? Yes, you can repeat them in the brand content because about 4% of the main keywords should be repeated through the description to the text, so it will be picked up by Google and rank well for these keywords. So this is how you use, this is what is actually happening when you separate keywords in the search term fields. If you separate them with different symbols and characters, they will actually be replaced by a single space. So the order of how keywords appear, how they're typed in the front, still it doesn't really matter. Yes, you can see, but this can change in the future. Like in this example, you can see that only 2 listings are not indexed for that particular order from about 31,000 keywords, so not really a lot. But again, we're monitoring this, and this can change in near future, as right now they're testing. One big question is why sellers write in all caps in the bullet points. And this is actually against the style guides. And recent change in the style guides for the home and garden category actually states now in red. I have like a screenshot here somewhere, and I'll show you that they actually tell you not to. Here it is. So this is particularly for a product title for the home and garden, and you can see with the red arrow they clearly state that you don't have to use all caps in the title. And it's also mentioned in the style guides that you don't have to use all caps for the bullet points. But at that point, Amazon is actually was ignoring that. It wasn't forcing it to the sellers. So people were a little exaggerating with because they think that this actually performs better, and they write they start with your bullet points with all caps, and then they continue how they write. Then, so what is the reason why you actually want to use all caps? Is because you're trying to make it more easy for DI, so you can pick up easier the information while you're trying to get as much information in front of the buyer. But again, if you look at that big block of text, it's not very nice for DI. And people usually don't really have the time to go and read all that information. This will be only read if you don't have already a pretty good idea from the images and the product name. And if you get to that point, you're probably going to lose the sale. So if you look how is actually Amazon doing it, if you consider that actually Amazon know how to optimize their listing, and they've been in the game from 1995. So in my opinion, they're pretty good at optimizing listing. This is their specialty, how to really convert a visitor to a buyer. And it makes sense to learn from Amazon how they do it, because the way that the listing is organized and how they designed, all the sections, it makes a lot of sense only for that reason, to convert a visitor to a buyer. So why not learn from them? Why reinvent the wheel? So if those of you who have listings in Seller Central, and then you switched to Vendor Central or to Vendor Express, you know how Amazon, when they take control of your listing, the first thing they do is they'll remove all caps from the bullet points, and they'll make it nice and short, so they can give the most important information in a very short way. So if you go to Amazon and you type by Amazon or Amazon Basics, you'll be able to see the listings and learn from them. What I show you here actually is, sorry, I changed the box, but I wanted to show you how many characters are actually indexed from the. So this is about how many characters, approximately in this example, 1,065 characters will be indexed. So everything that is in the green box will be indexed, and everything else will be left not indexed. So if you check phrases or keywords below that point, it will not show results. So Amazon is trying to make everything short and to prevent sellers to stuff keywords and information by limiting the characters that are being indexed. So in our experience, about 2,000 characters of only relevant keywords will be indexed. And if you go above that, you have to, you're losing all the. For example, if you have in the 5th bullet point right now, if you have some pretty important keywords that are driving a lot of traffic, you will miss the sales from these keywords. So same goes for the backend search terms. if you start to exaggerate and fill in all the 1,000 characters, like if you have 5,000 characters, you will start seeing that most of them will be not indexed, and there's no reason to actually keep them in there. And what's worse is that sometimes if you have a keyword that is forbidden, like if you're using some forbidden keywords that Amazon doesn't like gift box, or subjective terms like perfect and awesome, and try today, or money back guarantee, or a cure, or a miracle. There are many keywords that Amazon doesn't want you to use because they figure out they don't actually perform well. People don't trust these. They call them subjective terms, because what is awesome for you is not awesome for someone else, and they don't actually contribute to more sales. So there's no point using them, and they will, in time, de-index these keywords. So if you start having like thousands of characters in your total with your title, bullet points, description, Amazon will start getting picky about the keywords that they will be indexing. And of course, if you go and search one by one all of your keywords and try to figure out if it's indexed, this can be almost an impossible task. So this is why we created River Cleaner, to help you check your indexing regularly, because you want to make some change. Indexing will be within 15 minutes if the keywords is relevant, and if you don't have too many, it will be indexed. But this doesn't mean that will stay indexed. So Amazon has like bots and algorithms in place that will go regularly to your listing and recheck if everything looks okay. And if they see a lot of characters used, they will start de-index a lot of your keywords. Yeah, you can see here an example. I use that same ASIN with the keyword special, and Amazon tells you that they don't know what is special. Could be something for you, but they don't like it. So here's the bullet point style guides, and they tell you exactly what you have to do and what you don't want to do. And Amazon has a category-specific style guides, and there are about 600 pages of these style guides, and you have different recommendations for maximum characters per line. And in this case, you can see that the 5 bullet points here, it states that should be 100 characters per line, while in other categories you have 500 characters per line. And River Cleaner is doing that automatically for you, depending on which categories you're listing. So you don't need to go and remember all the different terms of services and style guides and recommendations and best practices. And there's so many things that can change anytime, and there's so many things to measure. You don't need to actually go remember them, because you want to focus on something more important, like to scale your business. So yeah, this is Amazon Basics. This is what their bullet points look like. So the maximum that you can actually find in length is about, in this case, 96 characters. So the longest that I've seen is about 100 characters, and they keep also their titles very short, below 80 characters. And there's only one reason why they do that, because they know how to do money, how to make money. So here is, in conclusion, what you have to do with your listing. Number one is keep it short. If you keep it short, almost everything will be indexed. If you follow the advice by River Cleaner, everything that you put, it will be short. So by keeping it short, you force yourself to only input the most important information, the information that will be more relevant and will give you the best results and the most sales. Number two is follow the style guides and the terms of service. Amazon will start forcing you soon, and I don't want to see you in a position that because you're using forbidden keywords or to lose your selling privileges. So always learn, follow the changes. Amazon changed everything all the time, because the experiment. You want to be up to date with the terms of service and style guides and follow them to the letter. Use synonyms instead of repeating the same keyword over and over. Try to go to Google, and there are plenty of websites that we can find synonyms of your main keywords and use those instead in your bullet points and the description. This will help you both for pay-per-click advertising, and this will help you for Google optimization. Separate only with spaces in the backend keywords and you don't need to repeat the keywords. Write in the most natural way. Think about how buyers are actually searching for your product, how they will actually search for that to find it. Don't overthink the backend search. Keep it clean, keep it most relevant, and check your indexing at least once a week. And here's the trick how to determine the length, because many people tell you that only 200 characters on the backend search term will be indexed, and many people have different opinions. But this is how you can actually measure yourself. Once a week, put your best keywords in the backend and check if they're indexed. If a few days later they're still indexed, add more relevant keywords and they check again if they're indexed. So once you start seeing keywords not indexed, then you can start removing some of these keywords that suggested by Amazon not relevant and try to replace them with more relevant keywords. So when you start seeing a lot of keywords being de-indexed, so you reach your maximum character limit, and you wanna reduce the length and remove all that is not indexed. And this is the best practice. You don't actually need to know the exact character limits allowed. Just try your best to put the best keywords out there. And this is my recommendation.
Thank you so much for your explanation, and I think I've learned a couple of concepts here, especially to follow the TOS from Amazon's guide. So now the quick question is, so how River Cleaner helps the sellers? I've heard about you have 30 features in your software, and as you know, checking the indexing manually is a cumbersome, it's a time-consuming process. So how River Cleaner helps the seller? So can you show a little demo about your software so that our viewers can get benefited?
Absolutely. So with River Cleaner, we're trying to get as many features as you usually use manually in your day-to-day jobs. So can you see my screen right here in the?
Yes, I can see Seller Central. Yes.
All right. So this is the icon of River Cleaner, and these are all the features that are actually switched on, and everything that you see in blue or in some crazy color in the screen will come from the extension. So let's go and see. Let's start from the beginning. So the first thing you'll see in the vital info will be a pop-up that represents 3 different views from mobile view. And if you heard me before talking about mobile view, it's very important because 70% and more of your buyers are actually browsing through a mobile phone, and this is what they will actually see. It's not what you see if you just go on desktop. So it's very important to optimize all of your listings for mobile, and there are many different screen sizes, and in this example you can see how the title is actually cut out at a certain point, and in this case it's about 55 characters are only shown. So you want to make sure that your best keywords will appear up front, so that it gives the most valuable information for the buyer. They just have a few seconds to decide if this is what they actually want to buy. So one question that I get a lot is, should I use my brand name in front, especially if you have like a long brand name? Should I always use that in the title? And the answer is, it's not necessary to appear, especially if you have like a long few words brand name. You can put it in the back of your title by using the by keyword. So in this case, this brand name is a Goo Goo Goo. So you can start your title with snowflake, baby groceries, real leather soft, whatever, and then at the end by a Goo Goo Goo. So in this case, when people look on mobile, they'll see your most important keywords, and they'll still be able to see the company, the brand name. So you can see that few lines of description will be shown first. So you want to give your best shot of explaining your product in these few lines. And then the first 3 bullet points will be shown, and in most cases, their total length, even if they're like 500 characters long, they will still be shown in full if you look on mobile. So if you want to optimize your listing for mobile, you have to definitely check that pop-up. So right away, you can see some bubbles appear around that product name, and that blue button here will be actually the index check. So this is how it works. Everything that you see, like with that symbol that you can actually click this button, so you can, with one click, you can convert. These are recommendations. All you see around are recommendations, and they're color coded. So the more vivid the color, the more important is the recommendation. So if you see something in red, that means that you really need to act as fast as possible because you're in danger. And if you see something in gray, that means that it's just recommendations by Amazon, but is not as vital as the other information. So for in this case, if I have like something that is not in title case, if I with a click of the button, it will be changed to title case, and it will give recommendations to shorten below 80 characters. But this is just the best practice. It depends on, and also we have subjective claims, which also can be removed with a click of a button. In this case, the subjective term is real. So if you click on the indexing, this will show you if this product name is indexed. In this case, it is. If you have some keywords that are not considered relevant by Amazon, it will appear in red, and you'll be able to remove those, or trying to force Amazon to index your keyword by shortening some other information from the bullet points and description. Now let's go to the other tab in the offer. We show you the Amazon fees combined with the FBA fees, so you can usually see what is your profit margin in case you're doing, for example, a sale price. So if I want to do a sale that is $15, and I know that my sourcing price is $5, I can easily see if I'm actually will lose some money from that sale price. Like if I drop to below $9, for example, I can see that I'm actually losing money. So I can adjust myself and still do a sale price that is profitable. And this is just a convenience, so you can see your FBA fees and in the back instead of just going and checking them in other places. We also give recommendations in the images. So, for example, if you have an image that is not in a clear white background, it will give you. But these days, Amazon is not allowing it. This was before. Amazon will now not allow you to have a not perfect white background. In the description, we have many tools that will appear. And again, if you feel overwhelmed and you get too much information, you can start disabling one of these from these settings and add them one by one when you start being more familiar with the tool. So in the description here, you can see that we actually check for repeated keywords, and this pop-up here will tell you which keyword that are in from the title actually are repeated in the bullet points in the description. And this is useful, as we spoke about that before, for Google optimization, because actually Google wants you to have few of your keywords repeated, so they know that they're important. We have like one button, click like capitalize first. This will capitalize your first letter, and it suggests some keywords. What you see here in red actually is an extension called Grammarly, and it works perfectly with Seller Central in the description. It will actually tell you if you have like misspellings in your description. So it's pretty useful if you use that. It's free. We can go on and look for that Grammarly and use it in conjunction with all the other tools that we offer in here. So we actually show you that promotional terms like comes in and give back, and subjective claims like real, luxury, premium, and cool, you have in the listing, and it's probably a good idea to change them with something, because they they're not following the style guides. But it's again up to you. We just give you recommendations. We don't actually force you to do anything. We just give you what Amazon tells about that particular category. The same for the bullet points. You can see if you have subjective claims, you don't need to know all of the subjective claims and forbidden keywords. Like if you do a mistake and you type something that is not really nice, it will be shown by our extension, and you don't need to remember all of this. We have a huge database that we collected during the years, and we give you all that information, and then it's up to you to make the decision. We have HTML editor in place that will appear, which allows you to use, without knowing anything about HTML, to actually go and use all these HTML tags and make your listing more appealing. But again, this is against the terms of service. But we placed it in here because we never saw one single case of Amazon actually suppressing or even mentioning that to any of our users. But because it's against the terms of service, it actually tell you not to use that. we tell you that it's you don't want to use bullet points in here, and bold is actually against the terms of service. So use on your own risk. The biggest feature we have here, it's in the keywords, where from that single tool in here, you can actually grab all of your competitors' keywords or search by keyword. And what you see in here is all the recommendations that we get directly from Amazon. So as soon as you type a keyword, it's the same as if you go to Amazon and type a keyword and you give all the suggested keywords. We just placed it for convenience in your backend instead of checking manually and going back and forth from front to the back. And as soon as you choose a keyword, you can exclude that keyword from if it's already appeared in your title and bullet points in the description. It will actually be excluded and not shown in the results. And you can exclude all of the forbidden keywords that we have in our database. So you just click search, and just in a few short seconds, you'll get all of your competitors' keywords that you actually are missing. You never use these, and you can just go through them and see if you can find some of them that are useful. And just word of advice that never use your competitors' brand names anywhere in your listing, including in the backend keywords. So make sure that you go through this, and this is how it works. You can just go and, for example, this one is not relevant. You can click on the X and remove the keyword, or just click on the keyword, and this will be populated directly to your field. Or you can, if you choose, you can add all of your keywords at once, but it's not recommended because most of this will not be indexed anyway, because they're not relevant for. If you look through them, probably you'll find a lot of them not relevant. If you want to grab a specific ASIN, all you have to do is just copy an ASIN, paste it in here, and you can do multiple ASINs as well of your competitor separated by space, and click search, and you will get results only from these ASINs in here. Another cool feature that you can actually use with this tool is you can go to Google and type your main keyword. For example, this is girls' shoes, and the first listing you'll see will be the first, because it's very well optimized for these keywords. So all you have to do is go to that page and grab any text that you see that appears in here. So if it's, for example, if it's an article or something, you can copy and you can paste in that same field in here and click remove duplicates. This will give you unique keywords that actually come from this text without repeating the keywords. And then again, you can go through them and click, and click a few of them and add those to your listing. So this is how actually River Cleaner is giving you recommendation. It's helping you optimize your time without risking your listing from suspension and following all the style guides. So you can actually enable indexing alerts, which means indexing will be checked automatically for you without even going for you. You don't need to go to your listing all the time and check the index. This will be done in the background for you, and then you'll receive an email if something needs to be done with your listing. So if you have like hundreds and thousands of listings, you can take advantage of that automation and save a lot of time and be completely compliant with Amazon at the same time. Ashraf?
Yeah, I'm here. That's good. Just quick question is, when you went to the keyword section, you entered competitors ASIN, right?
Yes.
So will it shows their keyword indexing as well? Because I just missed that part.
So we will show only the index keyword of your competitor. So
okay.
if they have keywords that are not indexed, they will not appear in that window.
Okay, that's a pretty cool tool. So basically, if I have 5 to 6 competitors, I can just come and put their ASIN, and I can see what are the keywords they are getting indexed for, right? So it's like I can find more keywords from them. Is it what it does?
Exactly, and you'll see only their best keywords, the keywords that they actually use to promote, and you'll be quickly able to compare if you miss them, because all the keywords that you'll be shown if you click that checkbox here, include my keywords, will be exactly what you're missing already. You don't need to go and see, okay, do I have that keyword or the other one? You have the exact keywords that you're missing.
Oh, that's pretty cool because so far the indexing is we just check with our ASIN number. So with this tool, we can input all of our competitors and find out some new keywords as well. Really
Exactly, and
cool.
for some users, this makes a lot of a lot of difference in the sales because sometimes a single keyword uh, can remain hidden from you, and this is what is your competitor's success is hidden in that keyword, and this is actually help you to uncover those.
Yes, yes. I mean, if there is a one reason to purchase this tool, and I think this keyword research tool, I'm pretty much impressed. So, what are your payment plans? I have not checked the pricing. So, you have what are the different pricing plan you have, and is it same for all the different pricing plans in terms of the features, or it differs?
All the features. Let's go to the website. I'll show you the features because
Sure.
we have so many and we add more all the time. But all the features are the same for no matter if you have one listing or you have thousands of listings, you'll get advantage using all of the tools. We just limit by uh, by listing. So all listings come with the emergency broadcast. So as soon as Amazon changes something in the listing, you'll get an email from us, and you'll be one of the first to know about that recent change. We have about 30 features. I showed you most of them, like the keywords, indexing optimization research, the alerts, how you can get keywords from articles. We actually you can set maximum order quantity. So if you have categories that still don't have the maximum order quantity, you can actually enable that for your listing. So in this, in the offer, is it in here?
Yeah. That's because
Yeah,
some of the
maximum order quantity.
categories doesn't have that maximum order quantity. So how do you do that using this
Exactly.
tool?
Exactly. So if you don't have that field, with our tool, this field it actually will appear in your listing and it will stay there forever. So let's say, for example, you have you sell in a category which doesn't allow you to um, to determine your maximum order quantity. It will appear in another color in here, and then you'll be able to save. In this field from there, even if you cancel your account with RiverCleaner, this field will still stay with your Seller Central. We actually, what the tool does is we ask permission to Amazon in the back, invisibly to give you access to that field. So if you do promotion and you're afraid that someone will buy off all of your inventory, you can actually input here one, and you know that nobody can buy more than one at a time. This can save you a lot of trouble if you don't really know how to set up your promotions. If you do like 90% promotion, or and you're afraid that someone will buy all of your inventory, this is the way to do it. So we have a profit calculator I showed you. We have also a PPC optimization module, which allows you to, this is a screenshot from that. You can upload your keywords, and it will be automatically displayed in a nice fashion like this one, where you can see your best and worst keywords. So you can see keywords that you need to go and optimize in your campaign manager, and the ones that are actually making you money.
That's cool. And I'm pretty much impressed with there is a one feature says hijackers alert. I mean, as you know, in our Amazon sellers life, every day we have to deal with hijackers and negative feedback and hidden reviewers. So what are those three features? Can you quickly explain those three features?
Yeah. So this is what we're doing. Like we have as soon as you receive, if someone jumps on your listing and starts selling your product, you'll get an email from RiverCleaner which will tell you that someone is selling your product, and then you can go and take the necessary measures. Contact the buyer, the seller, or you can contact Amazon. This is what it's called, the listing hijack alert. This avoids you to go, if you have many listings, it avoids to go and check them one by one if someone is actually selling under your listing. The negative feedback alert is another feature that we recently added. It's similar to other products that alert you when you receive a negative feedback, so you can actually go and resolve that. And probably the best that we have in that space is the hidden reviewer reveal, which means that as soon as someone leaves you a negative review, but their profile is hidden, it just says Amazon customer, this tool will actually tell you which exactly is that buyer. It will connect the buyer name, the review will connect it with your order number, and in this case you can contact them and see what is the case. And this is what happened to me recently. Is I received a 1-star review, and it was exactly like this. It was hidden, and sometimes when you go to the wish list on the review, if you click on it, you can still see the name of the reviewer, but in that case, he didn't even have a wish list. So I had no way of knowing, who is that buyer. But luckily, using that software, I quickly was able to see the person's name. And when I typed that in Google, I realized that this is actually one of my competitors. And I took a screenshot of the proof, because he was actually advertising under his name, under his Facebook account. He was advertising his product, which was similar to mine, and this is against the terms of service. And I sent that same screenshot to Amazon, and Amazon removed his selling privileges, so he's not selling anymore on Amazon.
That's great. So basically, this particular feature is even if the reviewer's name says Amazon customer, we can still find their order number, and we can contact them to solve the issue. Is that right?
Exactly, correct. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. I mean, you have more than 30 features, but a couple of features are really good, and my AMZ Trainer members will love all those features. And do you have anything else to explain now in terms of features?
We constantly add more features. Right now, we're working on an email sequence program, which is something you've never seen before, and we'll have a special price for all of our current members. So if you're using River Cleaner, you can pretty soon you'll be able to take advantage of our email system as well, which will be nothing you've ever seen before, on the Amazon space. I can promise you that.
Oh, that's great. And what are the marketplaces River Cleaner covers? Is it only Amazon USA or other marketplaces as well?
River Cleaner right now works on USA, Canada, Mexico, United Kingdom, Germany, France, Spain, and Italy. So pretty much North America and Europe. But we're working always, to add more marketplaces. Some features are still only for the USA, but we're working all the time to improve those and to integrate other marketplaces.
Oh, okay, great. And so thank you so much for your time. And I personally learned a lot, and a couple of features are really good. So I'm going to install it. Is it a Chrome extension? Am I right?
It is Chrome extension, but features like hidden review or negative alerts, they require you to connect your API through the web app. So it's web app and an extension. So for example, this feature, search orders by buyer's name, it's available through the web app.
Okay, so when I subscribe to the first plan, so I get both web app and Chrome extension, or should I take the Chrome extension separately?
They all work together, so you can use the extension, but it requires to have the account. So it's all in one. They're not separated. You can't use one or the other.
Okay, great. Okay, so I think we have learned a lot of things about how this indexing works, and especially the features, and which I'm very much interested is competitors, ASIN, and what are the keywords they're ranking. I mean, the index. It's all about the indexing, right? Or are you showing the ranking as well? It's more of indexing.
Correct. So here is a special prize for your members. I can give
you didn't tell me this. I think it's a surprise for me as well.
Yeah. So. Okay. All of your members, including you, of course, you can get 20% off for life on River Cleaner by using AMZ 20 off in the checkout box. So if you feel that River Cleaner can benefit you, you can save a little bit money on that.
That's really so nice stuff. So I'm going to send email to our members telling about this particular software and this coupon code. So it's AMZ 20 off. So when they do checkout, they have to enter this promo code. Am I correct?
Correct.
Okay, sure. So we'll use that, and whenever we have feedback, we'll keep in touch with you. And when is the email tool is going to be live? Do you have any timeline? Maybe in 4 to 6 weeks, or?
We will start releasing a beta version right now, and we will actually give early access to a few of our members, so they can start testing, and then in a few weeks' time, we'll be ready to launch.
Okay, good. Okay, thank you so much, Evelyn, for your time, and we have learned a lot, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Take care. Okay, thanks everyone for joining, and I'll be uploading the recording soon. And Evelyn, can you stop the presentation so that I can stop the recording? Because it says you still have the control.
Oh, how do I do that?
Because it says presenter has the control, and it's not allowing me to stop the recording.
I'm not sure how I can do that. Change presenter?
Yeah, change presenter. That should help us.
AMZ.
Yeah, AMZ Trainer support. Yes, that's it, and I can stop recording. Thanks everyone, and I'll upload the recording soon in our membership video. Thank you. Catch you.